It's already been a month and I have some feedback. So last month, I started using the SLEKE phone as my daily driver, and after using it for a month, I have some notes and some feedback. So overall, the experience has been great. I've been using it as my daily driver, so for calls, text, WhatsApp, and even my banking app, this phone has been working fantastically. This phone has been working so well that I've kind of referred to it as my home phone. You know, back in the days when our phone used to be connected to our house? Well, this device kind of works like that for me. I leave it on my desk, I leave it primarily at home, and when I'm out and about, I try not to take a phone with me, period, because I try to deconnect. So my SLEKE home phone has been working great. I haven't had any issues with calls or text, and honestly, my on-screen time has been mostly less than 10 minutes a day. I only again use this for calling and texting and primarily just communication. I do have some productivity apps such as my email, and the great thing about this phone in particular is that you can access websites or articles, for example, that are linked in the email, but you can't go and get distracted on the browser and find things that you're not supposed to. So it has kept me focused and using the apps as I need them. Now, with that being said, I do have some feedback on things that I don't really like about the device, and some of those things will be changed with an update, and some of those things can't be changed. It's just a hardware issue. So the first thing I noticed is that I use this device as somebody with low vision. So that means I have to make a lot of accessibility adaptations for me to use a device in general. Now, this device is like any other Android. You can change the font size and the display size. But when I modified the display size and the font size, this affected the look of the home screen. What I mean by this is that the apps and the text kind of get cut off in the display, and aesthetically it doesn't look great. But it functions normally. It doesn't impact the user experience, except for the fact that I don't like the look of it. But this is coming from somebody who worked in front-end web development, so I notice these things a little bit more than maybe others would. I think that this issue will be completely remedied because SLEKE has released a video this week demonstrating what the new UI and UX experience will be. And as you can see from these images, the icons will also be changed, and I think if I enlarge the icons and the text, the whole aesthetic of the phone won't be impacted the same way as it is now. Now, another issue I have with the device I think is more of a hardware issue. For example, every few days my SIM card will automatically lock. This usually happens in the middle of the night, so in the morning when I pick up the device, it asks me to unlock my SIM. This is not so much of an issue if it happens overnight, but it did happen to me one time during the day. This week, it disconnected around 1 p.m. I received a phone call that I had missed. Luckily, it wasn't important, but I do receive a lot of medical phone calls, so I don't like to miss those phone calls if possible. And this issue, if it persists during the day, I'm going to have to do some further investigating. Now, I have had SIM card tray issues with other devices, most notably my BlackBerry Classic, and I ended up having to fix the SIM card tray. I may take it to the same repair shop and see if they can recreate the problem, and if this is indeed a hardware issue, I can easily replace the SIM card tray. Now, the hardware is something that I sourced myself. I sourced this Pixel 6 on my own end and added the SLEKE software onto it myself. Generally, this is not how SLEKE operates, but since I live abroad, this was the easiest option for me, so maybe I picked a bad device, and I'm going to see if I can remedy this issue. Now, another issue I have with the hardware is just the general size. The Pixel 6 is a large phone, especially compared to my Pixel 8, for example. This takes a lot of real estate in a pocket or in a bag, and it makes the device a little bit cumbersome, especially for a device that I don't want to think about very often. I would like a smaller form factor for a phone in general because I get tempted even if there's nothing to be tempted by just by having a larger screen. That being said, a larger screen is great for being visually impaired and being able to read certain things, and this aspect has been great for me for emails and things like this. The hardware does have its benefits. The Pixel 6 has an extremely large battery, which means you get a lot of standby time on this device in general. Since I'm not using this device as I would a traditional smartphone, I'm just using it for communication, I can usually get up to 4 days without charging this device. That's insane. I think doubled by the fact that this is a de-Googled device, it's not constantly stealing data from me, this device can go a long time between charges. Another benefit of this device is having the Google camera hardware. This device takes excellent pictures, and that's something I'm not missing with this particular device. A lot of devices, especially digital minimalism or minimalism phones in general, don't have great cameras, and it kind of gets you by in an urgent situation, but if you'd like to take nice photos and nice videos, you can with this device, and it works fantastic. So overall, in the past month, I've really enjoyed this device. I consider it my most minimalist device in the fact that I can actually use it for certain applications and not feel that I have to have a companion device with it. I'm going to keep using it, and I notice that when I fall into bad cycles of getting to my smartphone, I go back to this device to kind of reset myself mentally and really get myself on the right track. I used to use the Punkt MP01, but this is a 2G device, and I noticed that the call function, the call quality wasn't very good, and this device seems to reset me when I'm going through a bad cycle of digital consumption, and I go back to this device to really reset and re-guide myself and put myself in a good place. Now again, I've been using this as a daily driver, but I am switching SIMs with it. I have a professional phone number as well as a personal phone number, and I kind of switch those SIMs interchangeably between my devices, especially when I'm testing alternative devices. But this device has been running 1 month straight with either my professional or my personal SIM and has been working fantastic. I'm really looking forward to the UI and the UX updates coming out from SLEKE. If you want to see more about those updates, I'll link their video down below. And thank you so much for watching, and see you soon.